All right, so you guys may have seen a problem like this in your homework. So it says determine whether the function given by the table is linear, exponential, or neither. If the function is linear, find a linear function that models the data. If it is exponential, find an exponential function that models the data. Okay, so remember, you have two types of functions this could be classified under. It can either be exponential or it could be linear. Okay, if it's exponential, then that means that the ratio of consecutive terms is constant. Okay, if it's linear, then that means that the average rate of change is constant. Okay, now this particular problem is going to be exponential, so let me show you why. So what it means by ratio of consecutive terms, okay, is constant. Your consecutive terms, your consecutive outputs, all right, would be your f of x values, okay? So to check to see if the ratio of them is constant, okay, then that tells us that a equals f of x plus 1 divided by f of x, okay? So we're going to take two terms and divide them. So the first one that I'm going to do is 9 divided by 9 over 8, okay? So this is our second term, and this was our first term, okay? So when I divide those two, instead of dividing by a fraction, I can multiply by the reciprocal, which would be 8 over 9. The 9s would cancel, which would leave me with 8 for the first one. All right, so to check to see if that ratio stays constant, I'm going to do the next terms. So I'm going to do 72 divided by 9, and that also gives me 8. Then I'm going to do the next one, which is 576 divided by 72. That's also 8. And then I would do 4,608 divided by 576. And that's also 8. So my consecutive terms, my ratio of them is constant. So I do have an exponential function, okay? So since I have an exponential function, they asked me to build it, what it is, okay? So from our definition of an exponential function, that is f of x equals ca to the x power, okay? Now c is your initial value, okay? Okay, and your initial value comes about when you plug 0 into it, okay? So we don't have to look it up, okay? They already told us what our function is when x equals 0, okay? It equals 9, okay? So c for us equals 9, okay? And then a, okay, is that ratio, that value that we just found, okay? So that ratio that stayed constant was 8, 8, 8, and 8. So 8 gets raised to the x power. So our function that we're going to build is f of x equals 9 times 8 to the x power. Okay? Cool. So if you get to a problem like this, I hope this helps.